The old carnival had been shut down for decades. Yet every few years, rumors would surface about strange happenings on the abandoned grounds. No one dared to enter except for one night. A curious young man named Ethan. Drawn by the mystery, he walked through the rusting gates, the moonlight casting long shadows that seemed to move on their own. As he ventured deeper into the decaying carnival, the air grew heavier and a cold chill crawled up his spine. The merry-go-round stood frozen, its painted horses cracked and worn, staring out with lifeless eyes. Nearby, a derelict funhouse loomed, with broken glass windows, reflecting the eerie light of the moon. Ethan's heart raced as he passed by the once grand big-top tent. The faded colors of its striped fabric fluttered gently in the breeze, though no wind blew. It was then he noticed something, a faint sound like soft footsteps behind him. He turned quickly, but no one was there. Only silence and the endless shadows. But then, a flicker of movement caught his eye. Standing just at the edge of the tent's entrance was a figure. It was a clown, tall and unnervingly still. Its face was painted white, with a red nose and a wide, unnatural grin stretched across its lips. Its eyes, dark and empty, seemed to pierce through Ethan, as if watching every move he made. For a moment, Ethan stood frozen, his breath caught in his throat. The clown did not move. It simply stared. A wave of unease washed over him, and he took a step back, but the clown remained still, its grin unchanging. Ethan turned away, his pace quickening, trying to shake the feeling that those lifeless eyes were following him. But as he walked, he heard it again, the soft sound of footsteps, keeping pace just behind him. His pulse quickened and fear crept into his bones. He didn't dare look back. The footsteps grew louder, faster. Panic surged through Ethan, and he broke into a run, his feet pounding against the cracked pavement. The carnival's rusted rides blurred in his peripheral vision as he raced through the maze of abandoned attractions. But no matter how fast he ran, the footsteps followed, always just a few paces behind. He reached the edge of the carnival, the rusted gates in sight. But something stopped him dead in his tracks, a shadow flickering in front of him. It was the clown, standing motionless in the middle of the path. Its painted grin seemed wider now, almost mocking. Ethan's heart hammered in his chest. He slowly backed away, but behind him, the sound of footsteps returned. He was trapped. He glanced around, searching for an escape, but there was none. The world around him seemed to close in, the shadows deepening, the night growing impossibly still. The clown took a step forward. It was slow, deliberate, and terrifying. Ethan stumbled back, his legs trembling. The clown took another step, then another. Its gaze locked onto him, unblinking. The wide grin, once just eerie, now seemed sinister, as if it knew something Ethan didn't. Desperation gripped him as he turned and ran toward the nearest building, the funhouse. He burst through the door, the walls of mirrors distorting his reflection in every direction. Panting, he looked behind him, but the clown was gone. The silence in the funhouse was deafening. Ethan walked carefully through the maze of mirrors, his reflection stretching and shrinking, twisting and bending. Each step felt like it echoed for miles. He thought he had escaped, but his relief was short-lived. In one of the mirrors, he saw it, the clown standing just behind him, its reflection grinning from ear to ear. His breath caught in his throat as he spun around, but the space behind him was empty. Yet, in the reflection, the clown was still there, closer now, Reaching out with pale gloved hands, Ethan stumbled backward, crashing into the mirrors as he tried to escape. But the more he moved, the closer the clown came in the reflections, until it was everywhere, surrounding him on all sides. His panic swelled as the room seemed to close in on him, the mirrors warping his terrified expression. He could feel its presence now, cold and menacing. The clown's reflection reached out one last time, its fingers grazing his shoulder in the mirror. And then, the glass shattered. Darkness enveloped Ethan as the carnival fell silent once more. The clown was gone, but so was Ethan, swallowed by the shadows of the funhouse, lost in the endless maze of mirrors, his reflection forever etched in the broken glass.